Hey, this is Steve Keys here with Keller Williams Capital District. We're here with another episode of Hey, How's the Market? This week we are doing Rensselaer County. This is the week of December 2nd to December 8th. So, total active inventory by school district. East Greenbush takes first place with 36 properties. Troy School District comes in second place with 26 properties. Total active inventory for the county was 177. New pending properties for this week. Troy took first place with 4 pending properties. East Greenbush took second place with 3 pending properties. Total pending properties for this week for the county was 17. Sold properties for this week. East Greenbush takes first place with 7 properties. Brunswick and Rensselaer tied for second with 3 properties each. Total sold properties for this week for the county was 19 properties. 200 to 300,000 took first place for most properties under contract with 7 properties. 150 to 200,000 took second place with 5 properties. 150 to 200 stood the better chance of sell since they had lower starting inventory with 1% difference. They were just under 16. 200 to 300 was just under 15. Over $400,000, nothing went under contract this week. For your school districts, Wine and Skill, North Greenbush technically came in first place with 33%, but they only had 3 properties even available for sale. And I actually think all 3 of them were in Wine and Skill School District. North Greenbush and Wine and Skill are separate school districts. I combine them because there's so little activity, and they are right next to each other. So it's not like I'm combining school districts on opposite sides of the county. Rensselaer School District and Troy School District, I think, really stood the best chance of selling because they had real inventory to actually deal with, which would make Berlin really more of the second place with 14%. Total chance to sell for all of the county was 9.6%, and the highest sale in the school district was a $500,000 ranch in Brunswick School District. All right, so total active inventory for the county. We can see that this is heading in an upward direction. This is different from what we've been seeing in a lot of counties. A lot of the other counties, they're stabilizing and starting to drop. Rensselaer County isn't so much doing that, at least not yet. Looking at the new activity, we can kind of see why. If we're looking at active inventory, we can see it come up, and this is starting to come down. We can see the linear average is on a downward direction. Pending also is starting to head in a little bit of a downward direction, although the linear average still shows it's going up, but as the weeks progress, that'll probably change. If we look at the individual dots here, we can see that the blue dot is very frequently over the orange dot. So that tells us that more properties are coming on the market than are going off the market, at least by going under contract. So that is why the total active inventory is still showing in that upwards direction. And sold properties, we can see that that is heading in a pretty substantially upward direction. So more properties are selling as time goes on. Average days on market, this is pretty normal for the other counties. We've seen this dip as active days on market is starting to go up. Pending days on market is also starting to go up. This one's a little bit different. The sold days on market, we can see a pretty drastic drop here, and I think the reason is because we started very high. And I think what that is as the spring market started to kick off this year, we had last year's winter market. We had all that inventory that hadn't been selling and had been sitting on the market, and that was all getting cleared out. So you had a lot of properties that had been on the market for a long time, and as they were selling, that is why the days on market was so high. And as we were getting fresh inventory, that's why it's dropping off. All right, average price. This is probably the most important chart that we're going to be dealing with in the coming months, at least as we're going through the winter market. We know that activity is going to go down. Less properties are coming on the market, and less properties are going to go under contract. But what are they selling for? That is what we need to worry about. We could have half as many properties sell, but if they're selling for the same price, or close to the same price, then we're in good shape, at least going into next year's spring and summer markets. So if we look at moving average is pretty close to the linear trend. So I'll just address the linear average as we're looking at this. So linear average, we can see for the pending properties, that's the orange line, is heading in a little bit of a downward direction. Now these two axes here, this is $50,000. So the line is within $50,000. Let's just be honest. The prices that we've been seeing over this past summer market and the summer market before are unsustainable for the long term. Like that cannot be the new normal for prices on the market. They do need to come down. And if they're going to come down, this is what we want to see. We want to see a gradual drop. This could just be a winter market drop. It could just be, hey, we drop a little bit for the winter market, but we'll be back up on the spring market. I don't really want to see prices go back up. I want to see them come down. We're having affordability issues. The government thinks that they're going to get involved. We want prices to come down on their own. So a nice gradual drop is what we want to see. A cliff would be bad. This is not a cliff. This is good. Sold prices shows basically the opposite. Still within the $50,000 bracket, but it shows it's heading in the upward direction. Now, sold prices are a few months behind, so that could just be it. We could see as months progress, that starts to switch into the downward direction. I don't know which way downward goes. So we'll have to stay tuned to see what that's going to go. And here's our expired canceled, basically all over the place. On average, it shows it's in an upward direction, which is what we'd expect going into the winter market. All right, so that has been this week's episode of Hey, How's the Market? Thank you for joining me, and please tune in again next week as we take a look at the question and answer, hey, how's the market? Bye-bye for now.